Hi, so my name is Autumn, and this class right now is going to be a pretty short and quick moving class for people who have more experience with yoga. So we're going to get into some balancing and some twisting and things like that. So let's get started. We're going to start on our backs. So just taking a moment to get grounded here. We're going to start on what's called constructive rest. So feet are mat distance apart, knees knocked together, and we can take a hand on the belly and a hand on the heart. And maybe you close your eyes, and then you just start to pay attention to the rise and the fall of your belly and your chest as you inhale and exhale. So just staying here for about 10 breaths. Last breath here. And then you can gently blink your eyes open and bring your knees up and into your belly. Give them a nice hug, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe widening your knees a little wider than your ribs. And then from here, we're going to gently extend those legs up towards the ceiling. So your hamstrings might be tight to start off. Mine are definitely a little tight. So the knees can always stay a little bit bent. That's totally fine. Arms by your sides, you're going to start to feel the core activating a little bit. So we're going to start with just pointing through the feet and the toes, and then flexing through the toes and the feet. So just slowly moving through this. See if you can match your breath to your movement. So inhale, and then exhale. We'll do that a few more times. And last one here. And then very gently, you're going to bend those knees to about tabletop position. Flex through the feet. And we're going to lift the head and shoulders up off the mat. So there might be a little gap between your low back and the floor. You want to try to seal that. You might feel a little tuck in the pelvis. What you want to do is make sure you're holding yourself up using your core entirely and not using the low back. So arms can come by the sides. If your neck gets tired at all, you can take the fingertips behind the base of the skull and just support your head here. So we're just going to breathe here. If this feels, oh gosh, so easy for you, you can start to straighten those knees, maybe even lowering the legs towards the mat. So again, finding a comfortable position for your arms and for your legs. And we're going to hold here, just breathing. So remember, if this position, you feel this in the low back or the low back starts to lift up, we bend the knees, we raise the legs a little bit higher. The whole goal here is to get stronger, not to do the hardest version of the move that could compromise form or injure us. So we're holding here for about 5 more breaths. And last breath here. And then we're going to pull those knees into the belly, release the head and shoulders down to the mat. Now let's bring those arms out to a T, maybe even goal post the arms if you're up against something like I am. And then the hips can come up and over to the right, and we're just going to let those knees fall to the left. And as you do that, really seal that right shoulder down to the mat. If you want a little deeper twist, left hand can come to the outside of the right knee. And then maybe you look over the right shoulder. So just breathing here. And in yoga, we practice something called Ujjayi breath. It's in and out through the nose, slight constriction in the back of the throat. Now, if this doesn't feel good for you when you're practicing, you want breath that feels good and that you can match to your movement. So you can always inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth, especially when things start to get more challenging or a little more intense. So then we're gonna bring that arm back to goal post, knees come back to center. Hips come up and over to the left, and then the knees fall over to the right. Really press that left shoulder into the mat, right hand to the outside of the left knee, maybe looking over that left shoulder, just feeling a nice, gentle twist, nothing too crazy yet. and paying attention to your breath. Always bringing that awareness back to the breath, especially if your mind starts to wander. It's totally okay that the mind travels elsewhere. The whole idea is that we just try to bring the attention back to where we are. And then we can gently come all the way back to center. And now we're going to practice engaging that core that we warmed up a little bit. You're going to grab onto your shins just below your knees and start to rock forward and back on the spine. And see if you can catch some hang time seated upright without using your hands or your feet. So just using the core for stability. So rocking back and forth, you can even try releasing the hands. And when we come up, this is a modified boat pose right here. So maybe you have the mobility in your hamstrings to straighten your knees. Mine aren't super warm yet, so it's a little challenging for me. And rocking back and forth. 1 or 2 more times. And then let's see if we can hold up here. Shaking is okay. As you can see, I'm definitely shaking. And then you're going to cross the ankles and come all the way through to the hands and the knees. So if you came off your mat like I did, just move a little bit back. And we're going to spread those fingers nice and wide so you can press your palms fully into the mat. Wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under hips. And we're going to take a couple rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, your belly dips low, your tailbone reaches high, and your shoulders press back, so you open your heart. And as you exhale, you scoop your belly button towards the spine, release the head. So working with your breath. Inhale for cow, and exhale for cat. 3 more of these on your own breath. And then coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. So I often encourage people, especially with tight hamstrings, to bend their knees in down dog. It allows your low belly to reach towards your upper thighs and your hips to reach straight up and back. So from here, maybe you pedal out one foot and then the other, especially since we're just getting started in those hamstrings. And then turn that pedal into a slow walk all the way up to the top of the mat. You can bend your knees as much as you need to and just let yourself hang over your legs. So maybe those feet are about hip distance apart. It allows a little more space to fold over. Our mobilities are very different from one another, and that's okay. A lot of that's just genetic. So then you can grab opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Bend in the knees is always okay. And then releasing your hands towards the mat, bend the knees, tuck the chin to the chest, and we're gonna roll up nice and luxuriously all the way to Tadasana. So feet about hip distance apart. You can also have the big toes together and heels apart. Depends what feels better in your body. I like the stability of my feet being just under my hips. So we're gonna work through some sun salutations, adding some modifications. Inhaling the arms out, up, overhead, press the palms up, look up, and exhale, fold all the way over your legs. Inhale, we'll step the right foot back for a low lunge, press the palms into the mat, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, curl through high plank position, tuck the tailbone, puff up towards the sky in between the shoulder blades, and then we'll lower the knees, the chest, and the chin, so the low belly doesn't touch at all until you're coming into that baby cobra, if possible. So then we're tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog once again. Inhale, right leg lifts high, and exhale, we step that foot all the way up in between the hands. Maybe it needs some help, and that's totally fine. Inhale, open the heart, look forward. Exhale, back foot meets the front, fold over the legs. Inhale, we'll rise all the way up to stand, press the palms together. Exhale, palms in front of you. Inhale, rise, we'll do the other side. Exhale, fold, starting to build some heat. Inhale, left foot steps back. Press the palms into the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling through high plank position. Exhale, lowering the knees, the chest, and the chin. Inhale, pull through baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step that foot in between the hands. Inhale, come to the fingertips, open your heart. Exhale, back foot meets the front, folds over the legs. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, press the palms together. Exhale, hands palm to palm. Inhale, rise. Exhale, and fold. This time we have the option, we're gonna come to the fingertips and look forward, or the hands can come to the shin. And then we have the option of either stepping back to down dog or jumping right into chaturanga if that's in your practice. So I'll demo the step to down dog. Then we roll through high plank. You can lower the same way as before, or the shoulders tilt past the wrists. We lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So from here, we're gonna take just a few breaths in the down dog, seeing if we can create a little more space in those hamstrings, reach the heels towards the earth, the sit bones up towards the sky. And then we're gonna bend the knees, look all the way in between the hands, and you can step, walk, or float top of the mat, open the heart and look forward. Exhale, folding over the legs, and inhale, rising all the way up to stand, press the palms together. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open the heart, look forward. Exhale, move through your vinyasa, whatever that looks like. And then we're gonna bend the knees, look in between the hands. Inhale, top of the mat, looking forward. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands palm to palm. So now we're gonna build on from that flow at the beginning. I'm getting nice and sweaty because the air conditioning is off because it's a little bit loud. So we'll see how this goes for me. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, open the heart and look forward, and exhale through your vinyasa, whatever that looks like today. And this time we'll inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step that foot all the way up in between the hands. We're gonna inhale to come all the way up for a high lunge. So you're gonna squeeze your inner thighs together, plug back through the right hip, wrap in through the left inner thigh. We're on the ball of the back foot. And then we're gonna launch ourselves onto the right foot. Left knee comes all the way up into the belly, flex the foot. Breathing here, using your core to hold up that left knee. And then we'll exhale, we're gonna step all the way back. If you wanna come through a little warrior 3 variation, you can. Step all the way back, high lunge here. And then we're gonna really gently lower that back knee down, untuck the toes, Anjaneyasana, pressing the hips forward, lifting up through the low belly so you don't absorb this in the low back. And breathing here. Front knee is stacked right over that front ankle. You can always widen your stance if you need. And then we'll exhale, both arms come down, tuck through the back toes, lift the back knee, and we're gonna do a wide-legged pyramid pose. So straighten through the front knee. You can come to your fingertips, or hands can come to blocks as well. And we're gonna actually peel the toes off the mat for this one. Get a little stretch through the back of that right leg, or a big stretch. And then we're gonna slowly replant that foot, bend that knee, step back, downward dog. Take a vinyasa if you want, otherwise stay in downward facing dog. And then we're gonna inhale that left leg up and back. Exhale, that foot steps all the way up in between the hands. We're gonna inhale, rise all the way up, high lunge. Plug back through that left hip, wrap in through the right inner thigh. We're on the ball of the back foot. We're pulling up in the low belly. And now we're gonna transfer the weight into that left leg. Right knee comes up into the belly. Use the core to hold that leg up. Maybe flexing the foot if we can. And then tilting the chest forward, leg shoots back, maybe through a warrior 3 variation, all the way up into a high lunge. Very slowly melting that back knee down to the mat, untucking the toes, hips press forward, Anjaneyasana. Again, we don't want to absorb this in the low back, so pull up in that belly, front knee right over that front ankle. I'm doing a lot of exhaling out my mouth because I'm talking so much while moving, and also it's very warm. So if you ever need to breathe out the mouth the whole time, totally fine. We're gonna frame that front foot. We're gonna tuck through the back toes, lift the back knee, straighten through both legs, peel the front toes off the mat, and fold over that front leg. Again, you can have those hands on blocks. There can also be a little bend in that front knee. And then we're gonna slowly plant that foot, bend that knee, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Again, you have an option for a vinyasa if you wanna take one. We're gonna inhale to reach that right leg high, and we're gonna exhale to step that foot all the way up in between the hands. This time, come up all the way, high lunge. And then we're gonna spiral that back heel down, open up, warrior two. Front heel's in line with the center of the back foot. We're pulling up in the low belly once again. We're pushing through the outside edge of that back foot. This front knee, when people get tired, it often collapses inward. We want it opening outward. No tension in the shoulders. Smiling always helps with this. We're gonna inhale, flip the palms up towards the sky, reach forward, and then reverse your warrior. Try to keep the legs just as they are. And then exhale through extended side angle. Forearm to thigh, left arm up and alongside the ear, pull up through the rib cage. If you feel the mobility is there, you can reach that right hand to the inside of the right foot. But if that feels too intense, just come right back to where we were. And breathe. We're gonna inhale, back up, warrior two. This time straighten through the front knee, hips tilt back, right hand to right shin, left arm up towards the sky. So we can look up towards that top arm if it feels good, or you look straight out in front of you. You wanna make sure you're protecting the neck and doing what feels good for it. And again, breathing. And then inhale all the way back up, warrior two. From here, we're gonna work into half moon. So back hand comes to the back hip. We walk the back foot in a couple of inches. Front hand comes down towards the mat. And then we're gonna come up towards kind of a warrior three, and then start to open up through that top hip. So we're stacking left hip on top of right, and then maybe that top arm reaches up towards the ceiling, flexing through the foot. From here, you can make it more challenging by looking up towards that top arm, or you can bring that bottom hand and try hovering it. Maybe hands come palm to palm in front of your heart. And then wherever you are, we're stepping all the way back. A little wobbly, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down, frame the front foot, step back, downward facing dog. If you'd like a vinyasa, you take one now. You can always take a child's pose anytime. I am never offended if people skip large portions of the class for child's pose for listening to their bodies. We're gonna now inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step all the way in between the hands. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. And I'm gonna face away from you, so I'm actually gonna turn myself around so that I'll smile towards you. And then we're gonna exhale, open up, warrior two. So front heel's in line with the center of the back foot. We're pushing open through that knee, no tension in the shoulders, and breathing. Let's inhale, flip the palms up towards the sky, reach forward, reverse your warrior, and then exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm up and alongside the ear. So from here, remember, maybe that hand goes to the inside, but only if it feels good. Only if it feels stable, only if it feels like you're not forcing your body into anything. And then we're inhaling back up. Warrior two, straighten through the front knee, tilt the hips back, triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana, maybe looking up towards that top hand, maybe looking straight out in front of you. Ooh, that was a good little pop. Right in the hip. And then we're gonna slowly come back up, and we're cartwheeling the arms down, framing the front foot, stepping back, downward dog, moving through your vinyasa. If you'd like, totally optional. Pedaling out the feet, maybe taking a child's pose. I'm coming back towards this side. And then we're gonna inhale to lift that right leg high, and exhale to step that foot all the way up in between the hands. So from here, we're gonna come straight back up, high lunge, combining what we did before. Left knee comes into the belly, flexing through the foot. This time we have an option of straightening it straight out in front of you. Mine doesn't get very high, that's okay. Then the chest tilts forward. We're coming back, warrior three. Step into that high lunge, spiral that back heel down, warrior two. Flip through the front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, back up. Exhale, straighten up, triangle pose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, cartwheel those arms down, frame that front foot, step through your vinyasa. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step that foot in between the hands. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, right knee into the belly. Maybe we straighten that leg out in front of us and hold. And then maybe we tilt back, warrior three. And then stepping back, high lunge. And then opening up warrior two. I'm gonna be okay with my back facing you. You can see the opposite side now. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, triangle pose. And then we're inhaling back up and exhaling to cartwheel the arms down, frame the front foot, step back, downward facing dog, move through your vinyasa if you would like. Pedaling out the feet. And then we'll inhale, that right leg comes high. Exhale, step that foot all the way up in between the hands. This time we're gonna plant that left hand down. Inhale that right arm up and look up towards that top arm. And then inhale, we're gonna pull that right arm back, left arm forward, take a little twist here, or a big twist. And then we're gonna reverse straight back. And as we come forward, left elbow hooks to the outside of the right foot, right hand comes on top, and we have those prayer hands, maybe looking up towards the sky. From here, we're gonna put the weight into the right leg, see if we can step all the way up for a little twisted chair, Utkatasana with a twist. And then we're gonna come all the way to center, rise all the way up, hands palm to palm. Getting nice and sweaty now. We're gonna do the other side. Inhale to rise, exhale to fold. Let's take ourselves through the beginning of that vinyasa. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step back, downward dog. Option for your vinyasa. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step that foot in between the hands. Inhale to reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna stand all the way up, squeeze those inner thighs together. Little or big twist here. Reversing this. And then exhale, right elbow to outside of left knee. Maybe little wobbles. Hands come to prayer. And then let's see if we can pour that weight into that left foot and come all the way, woo, getting wild here, to a little Utkatasana twist. And breathing. And then we're gonna come back to center and inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands palm to palm. So here comes our little balancing practice. Now that we've gotten a little twist to open up and we're nice and warm, or at least I am. You can see the sweat just dripping down my face. There we are, very relatable, right? Okay, We're gonna inhale, arms out, up, overhead, and we're sitting Utkatasana twist, tucking through that tailbone, lifting through the heart. Hands come palm to palm, and we twist over to the right, hooking that left elbow outside the right knee. So just as we were before, and allowing your body to start to open up. So you can stay here. If you get tired, always feel free to straighten the knees, come to a forward fold. The next option to work into this arm balance is that we bring those hands actually to face the side of the room. The knees are kind of snuggled up towards the tricep. So now your elbows bend backwards, and then you start to transfer the weight into your hands. So maybe you come here, maybe you get those feet just a little bit off the mat. The next option for this side crow is actually to start to straighten that right leg out in front, left leg comes behind you. Don't be afraid of that face coming close to the mat. Maybe flex through the feet, and then we can come all the way back. And then hands palm to palm. Let's see if we can work our way straight back the way we came in. Nice Utkatasana twist. Back to center. Rise all the way up, victory arms. I've been into those lately. And now we'll take the other side. So give yourself a moment to let your breathing slow so that you can match your breath to your movement once again. So maybe close your eyes in your Tadasana. Check in with how your body's feeling, with if your mind's running in a million directions, what's going on. Opening those eyes. And then inhale the arms all the way above. Exhale, sit low, Utkatasana. This time we're hooking that right elbow outside the left knee. Hands come palm to palm. We're taking that nice twist and we're not forcing it to go anywhere our body's not ready to go. So from here, if you want, hands come down perpendicular. You come to the balls of your feet. My hand's gonna come a little off my mat, that's okay. We're snuggling that right tricep into that left knee, and then we're starting to lean the weight forward. So maybe we stop here. You can also then start to lift up if it feels okay. From here, maybe that left leg comes out in front and that right leg comes behind. And then slowly making our way out. Let's see if we can come back the way we came in, even if it's a little roundabout. And then come back to center and reach those victory arms nice and tall. Yeah. All right, we're going to just cool down now that we've built to that peak pose. So we're gonna come to Tadasana at the top of the mat. Inhale the arms above. Very slowly moving meditation fold over the legs. And we're gonna slowly look forward, inhale. And exhale, let's step back, downward facing dog. If you want anything else, you can take one. My body says no thank you right now. We're gonna inhale that right leg up, and exhale, we're gonna step to pigeon on the right-hand side. So know here that household objects can be very helpful for pigeon. So you can take something underneath that right hip. The goal is to try to square off the hips. We don't wanna be folding over to one side or the other. We want to be as centered as we can. This front heel can be up close to the groin, or it can come closer to parallel with the front of the mat, but you don't want to feel anything in your knee. If you feel this in your knee, you can take a figure four on your back. So we're going to inhale, open through the heart, and exhale, fold over that front leg. You can use your hands as a pillow and start to let your breathing slow. As I talk straight into my mat, start to let your breathing slow. I usually leave my students in pigeon for what I would call a yin amount of time, because in yin yoga, you're holding the poses about 3 to 5 minutes. So I like to stay here for a long time. We won't be here quite that long for this video, but just know that this pose can often offer a really sweet release. It's often what I do at night before going to bed, to relax, to loosen some of the tension from my day. Maybe reach those arms straight up in front of you. From here, we're gonna press all the way into the palms, come up to sit. We'll tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. That gets a little more intensely into that right hip. And then we're gonna lift up that right leg up and back. From here, you can bend the knee, open the hip. If it feels good, you flip your dog. And then making our way back, downward facing dog. For some of you, you might wanna work through your vinyasa with this right leg lifted. So just coming through and lowering down like this. So this can be a cool opportunity for a chin stand as well, if it hasn't tired you enough out so far, which is a little bit of a crazy thing to add in at that point in time, but you do what your body says, I guess. We inhale that left leg up and back, and then we step into pigeon on the left-hand side. Again, this side might be different than the right, and that's okay. So take whatever you need underneath that left hip to square up the hips, and you can bring that heel as close to the groin as you need. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, and then we're gonna slowly fold over. Again, using your hands as a pillow for the head. And then maybe we straighten those arms straight out in front and release the head. And then we're gonna slowly come all the way back up to sit. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Top leg comes up and back. And then maybe bend the knee, open the hip. I don't really have space on this side, but I could be on top of the couch. Let's see how that works. Woo, kind of crazy. Well, that feels kind of cool. You gotta play with what you got, I guess. And then we're coming all the way back when we're ready. Down dog split. Again, you can come through, take the vinyasa with that leg lifted, maybe chin stand. And then come back downward facing dog. From here, we're just gonna sink the knees mat distance apart, big toes together, walk the hands out, release the head, child's pose. Rolling nice and slow up to sit. And we're just gonna bring those legs straight out in front. And we'll take a very quick forward fold Paschimottanasana before finding Shavasana. So for me, I usually like to sit up on a blanket because I have some tight hamstrings and low back. You can also peel the flesh of your sit bones back. I'm trying to show this class without any props at all. You can also widen those legs. You can put blocks under the knees, that helps too. We reach the low belly towards the upper thighs and start to walk the hands out. Maybe the hands grab onto the shins, maybe they grab underneath the feet. And then maybe we release the head down. And then slowly roll up to sit. We're gonna reach those arms out in front of us. I'm gonna scooch a little forward. We're gonna tuck through the tailbone and roll nice and slow using your core all the way down, right into your Shavasana. So you stay here as long as you like, which I know is a little difficult when you're just doing from a yoga video and you're not in a class, but really try to give yourself 5 minutes here, just to let your body go, to see what happens, to notice what comes up. In yoga, we take the role of the observer. We're just noticing what's going on in our madis, which is our minds and bodies combined, which is both of those things. What's going on with our breathing, just paying attention. Maybe watching the rise and the fall of the belly and the chest, noticing how the breathing is starting to slow, whatever is going on. And for me, something that's been really challenging with yoga and with life is to kind of let go of that idea of ego, right? So letting go of the idea that we need to show something to prove ourselves. And so I'll notice that come up in my practice time and time again. And it's not, yoga doesn't mean that, oh, we have this ability to completely let it go. It just means we have the ability to notice when it comes up and to see what we need to do to get back in touch with what really matters, what's really important, why we're really here to practice. So thank you so much. I know I'm still lying down. I'll come up to sit. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Really stay in that Shavasana as long as you need. And I'm just going to bow to you. The light in me honors the light that shines so brightly in all of you. Thank you.